So today we're in Death Valley and it's actually my first time here. Our first stop of the trip is at the Mesquite Flats Sand Dunes. The most notable thing about these dunes is just the proximity to the road. The parking lot is literally right off the paved road. There are a lot of people here, but it's still really cool. Also, it's the middle of January and it's like 70 degrees. We made it to where we're going to camp, which is approximately 8 to 9 miles down Cottonwood Canyon Road. I think one of the cool things about Death Valley is that you can pretty much just camp anywhere. Like, there's a few rules, there's a few day use only zones, but as long as you're 1 mile from a paved road, you're pretty much golden. Alright, so our plan for tomorrow is to wake up kind of early and see a lot of the main sites, so like go to Zabriskie Point and go do the Artist Drive, Badwater of course. So our original plan was to do this 3-day 30-mile loop. It's like the Cottonwood Marble Canyon loop, but after reading some lukewarm reviews and considering I've never been to Death Valley before, we decided to just make a car camping trip and see all the highlights of the park. So one of the best things about Death Valley is that you have this super dark night sky. It is so great for astrophotography, and also just viewing the stars. So last night we slept really well, except that I think maybe the wind was causing it to be a little loud, but I don't know. I slept well. So we're just gonna wrap up, clean up camp, and then make our way to our first stop, Zabriskie Point. We actually decided to come back to the dunes. We were just driving past them and they looked really beautiful, so we thought we would just come back and snap a few pics. Up at the dunes. I guess here's a pro tip for everything in life. Get there early to beat the crowds. So our first new stop of the day is Gower Gulch Golden Canyon Loop hike. It's about 5 miles total. We parked at the Golden Canyon trailhead. Now we're hiking up Gower Gulch. I'm pretty sure this hike goes to Zabriskie Point, so I'll keep you updated. So we just met up with the junction. Now we're heading over to Golden Canyon. So we didn't go up to the Zabriskie Point right now because we're gonna head back there later. For now we're just gonna keep hiking. Right now we're in what's called the Badlands of Death Valley. They're called the Badlands because nothing grows here. Like, they can't be used for productive uses. I don't know, maybe it's the Badlands, but it's very beautiful. Alright, so we're just about wrapping up the Golden Canyon section of this hike. All in all, I would say this is an absolute must-do if you visit Death Valley. I think get an early start because it did get quite hot while we were on the trail. And I also think you should do it in the counterclockwise direction. Dennis? Yeah, do it in the counterclockwise direction. When we were going up Gower Gulch, we didn't feel like we were climbing at all, and then all of a sudden we were like super high up, so it was really easy that way. Next stop is Devil's Golf Course. I guess it's called that because only the devil could play golf there. Basically, it's like calcified salt because the basin almost never gets water, and especially here, the salt just like continues to crystallize and grow over millennia. So our next stop is Natural Bridge. This is another little hike, but it's much shorter than the previous one. I think it's only 0.3-ish miles to the arch. We'll see how it compares. So we're just coming up on the Natural Bridge now. It's cool, but there's definitely more interesting natural arches in the world. If you're in Death Valley, worth a stop. So right behind me is this feature called the Dry Fall. It's kind of interesting because you can tell sometimes it's a waterfall, but it's like super dry right now. Just judging from like the residue on the side of the canyon walls, it seems like this is probably a really dangerous place to be during a flash flood. But, you know, today is blue skies and we're in a heat wave, so I think no worries about that. So now we've stopped at Badwater Basin. This is the lowest point in North America at negative 282 feet. A really interesting thing about this place is we're only 45 miles as the crow flies from the tallest point in the contiguous US. So it's kind of crazy. So our last stop in this side of the park is the Artist Drive. It's like a scenic drive and it's got a few things to pull out and see. So right now we're at the Artist Palette. The colors are all caused by various oxidized metals, so like iron and copper and manganese. Pretty interesting. Stop of the day was Zabrisky's Point. I guess you could say we saved the best for last. Just kidding, we actually almost were there when we were doing our hike earlier, but it was still nice to come back. Definitely beautiful, definitely a do not miss. Yeah, so that marks the end of our trip in Death Valley. We're gonna start heading back now. Just like some final thoughts, I would say camping was really great. If you're gonna come, definitely do that. The Gower Gulch Golden Canyon Loop was amazing. I would say that's a do not miss. And then also, of course, like, you have to see Badwater. It's the lowest point in North America. Yeah, I think that's like good, if you've got one day in Death Valley, that's what you do.